swift tanning, so the color is kept. Next slide. Next. This is another example of the small stems that we can create in the laboratory. Next slide. Next. Those are the good results. And we also have the possibility of scrubbing scars with lasers or other processes to solve the problem of scars. Can we have the next slide? Where is there a problem?
No, we are over time.
Okay, so next slide, please. Next slide, please.
Maybe it's the last one.
Oh, wow.
Another possibility was to put expanders under the skin in order to enlarge the surface area of the skin and then use the expanded skin to cover scars and missing skin. And I think this is the last one. Next slide. Next. Yeah, okay, that's it.
Thank you so much. I see that we have, by the way, the Zoom, Yossi Chaye. Are you with us, Yossi?
Yes, I'm with you all, and thank you for the possibility of speaking and seeing you. It's a great honor for me to present it, and I present it with my wife, which does mostly ceramics and porcelain works. Can you hear me?
We cannot. We try to intervene with the Lord's
Hello?
work, but up to a certain degree. We are not the Lord.
Even if it's an old burnt ground.
Yes. Yes, it's even easier.
Thank you.
Hello?
You there? We shall go ahead. Moshe, are you ready? Yes. Okay. Can you, artist Moshe, Golach?
This morning, I visited an exhibition of Willem de Kooning in the academia, an excellent exhibition about his artwork when he was visiting Italy in 1960. He was here for 4 months and created sculptures and paintings. In 1953, Robert Rauschenberg, who was a young artist and unknown, decided to make experiments in erasing artworks. First, he erased some of his paintings, and then he decided that since he's unknown and not famous, that he will go and ask some well-known artist for his painting to erase. He took a bottle of whiskey and went to visit Willem de Kooning. And he asked him one painting of him to erase. I don't know what portion of the bottle Willem de Kooning was drinking, but he accepted. And by that, Robert Rauschenberg actually started a new genre in art, genre of art erasing. In all art erasing, first, a painting, drawing, or a photograph is chosen, and then all of it or part of it is erased. In my videos that you will see maybe soon here, self-portrait erasing, I am going 2 steps backward, and I'm sitting in front of a mirror to draw self-portrait, and I erase my image from the mirror before it is being drawn. And I prepared a book, an art book for this occasion, and I'll show you. I decided to take a book, an art book of Rauschenberg, and I erased the images of Rauschenberg from the book. And I used various techniques, mainly collage. I took images from my video, stills, in an order from the beginning of the self-portrait when my face is in the mirror until the end when the mirror turns to be a looking glass. And I made collage, cutting the images, making collage for the Rauschenberg artworks. Let's go next one.
Okay.
And I didn't cover completely the images. I left some traces of Rauschenberg images behind. And I tried to fit the texture, the elements that will be similar. Another technique I used, I made a replica of Duchamp bicycle wheel. I colored it with acrylics, and then I drove it over Russian notebooks.
Yes, we see a part of your video.
And this
Okay.
is the result.
Nama, can you show us a bit, move forward with the video? So.
Yeah. Okay, as a sample, we can see it afterwards. Yeah.
This is the video.
Moshe, could you tell us about the material you used for the mirror? It was interesting for me how you
Yes,
scratched.
okay. I made several experiments, and I found out that first I have to take out the painting. There was I think it was some synthetic painting that covers the aluminum flags. And after I took it out with different chemicals, only the aluminum layer stays. And then my daughter, in the back of the mirror, is scratching the back of the mirror, the aluminum particles, with Scotch-Brite and lemon juice. And the lemon juice itches the binder that holds the aluminum particles, take them off very gradually. It's not a strong acid, so it's being done very gradually, and my image is erased slowly.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's go on. תודה רבה, thank you so much. Naamat, can we invite someone from the Zoom as well?
Of course.
Who is Dorit with us? Dorit Gourier?
She is.
Yes, I'm here.
Dorit,
Yes.
Just a sec.
1 minute.
Stop share.
Dorit Gourier, she's a curator. Was the head of the Petach Tikva Museum for a long time. Dorit, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
You hear? Can we hear?
Yes, we'll do
Okay. Okay. Dorit will talk about Lee and Noor. Could we present an image of Lee? Okay.
Who's got the microphone?
הנה.
You have it over here.
יש פה פון.
Nana, you have it.
Okay, so do you have any images?
Hi, Luigi. Hello.
Anyway, just maybe I will just say about Lee.
רגע,
Do you hear?
1 minute, דורית, because we need... אין לנו אימג' שלה? לא שומעים אותה.
צריך להיות מחובר לרמקולים.
למה?
לרמקולים.
אבל את המיקרופון, אפשר גם מיקרופון יותר קרוב. אוקיי, דורית.
Okay, so I'm really happy to see you all
Can you
from
hear?
Israel. And Lee couldn't come to be a part this evening, but I just want to say I'm working with her as a writer, and I want to say that Lee is a photographer and a video artist, and she used to work with choreographer, dancers, actress, and make with them, and they became a part of her project. She made a very, very famous film, Coffee with Pina. She used to work with Pina Bausch. And our project, our suggestion for this amazing subject is a video installation, manifold images of landscape and bodies that will projected on maybe on chiffon fabrics or and maybe on screens engulfed by voices and sounds. Lee made this project as a part of a residency in the Weizmann Institute in Israel. She worked with science, and she at the work you can see images of neurons and of and landscape of wheat fields all together, and it will become, when the audience will be a part of the space, it will be like a sculpture, like an organic sculpture, but also talking about private and collective memory.
דורית, יש לנו בעיה של טכנית, אז אני אבדוק שתי מילים על מה שאמרת.
אוקיי.
אני ממש מצטער, אנחנו ננסה לשפר את זה בהמשך.
אוקיי.
אני ממש מתנצל, אבל פה באולם לא שומעים כמעט מה את אומרת.
אוקיי.
אוקיי, אז קודם כל נורא תודה על מה שאמרת, ואנחנו ננסה בהמשך לשפר את זה. You can. We have the image of Leah No. She's an artist and a photographer, and she's now showing at the Weizmann Science Institute her project. It's 7 layers, photos which dealing with the surface. You can see it on the small screen, and during September we shall probably show the big installation at our presentation at the Judeca. You can watch on the screen and see her images, the fields, the nature, and the human factor over there. Okay?
And the main issue is that it will be like organic sculpture. Organic
sculpture, that's true. Thank you so much. Okay, we shall go ahead here and we'll try to improve our condition. Vital, I want to, can you get the microphone, please? Vital Arbel, Dr. Vital Arbel. Vital is a member of our forum. She's coming from the medical world as well. And maybe the best way, Vital, you present yourself and please tell us about your creation. Okay.
My name is Vital Arbel. I'm a surgeon. I deal a lot with scars made by birth and all kinds of cultural practices like genital mutilation of women. Also repairing virginity in order to save life of women. My work and my art are very similar because I'm using the same materials in both fields. I'm using thread and suturing and using skin or fabric in order to do both of them. When Doron came up with this wonderful idea about the skin, it went well with what I did before. I did a lot of works about scars and human body. You can see my artist book. If you go a bit down to the beginning. Actually, I wrote an abstract suggesting a different approach to surgeries. I'm doing sexual reassignment surgeries, which is it's a very sexy field. Every time I talk about it, I'm becoming the center of the room. But actually, it's very complicated surgeries, and the people that undergo this process are really having a very complicated and difficult life. Whenever I see a mother that comes with a son or a daughter that are doing this transition, I feel very, very complex feelings toward the whole situation, including the fact that I'm operating them, because they have a lot of complications and it's a very, very difficult process. So when I was challenged by Doron to find something like a workshop to do, I was thinking about a different approach. Maybe we think very linearly about this surgery thing, and maybe we need to think about something else that can be done in order to go through the same process. So my book is actually called The Constructions, because everything starts with breaking up and building again, everything I do in my work. And it goes through a process of first of all, realizing the complexity of the subject, and then going slowly through the pain people go through, and then maybe trying to find a way for the rebirth, which is also a complex issue. Can you move it up a bit?
Up or down?
And
Up.
go ahead. So actually, the project is beginning with this abstract that I just presented to you, and we'll go further. And there's several chapters to the book. The first one is scars. You can go further. And this is my belly. I did a lot of works about my body. I underwent also several surgeries, and I had scars, and I was tattooing my belly, and then I was photographing it and then embroidering on it. And it's a whole process. And it's funny, but while I do this embroidery, I also improve my technical surgical techniques. It's something that have a resonance between. And then I started thinking about the skin. This is the tree that have a skin also. But actually we have the same skin, even if mine is softer and thinner. It's we both don't want anyone. I was very empathic with Nicola's things because of the trees, and also because you said, I don't know what's the end of it. By September I'll have something. So this is an ongoing process, and what I'm saying now might be different in September, but go further now. This is Nina. She's a friend of mine in a college. We're doing a clinic together. She's a transgender woman. And the embroidery, everything started with this embroidery that I embroidered a photograph she took of a kind of a stone that was washed in the desert of the Negev in Israel. And it was washed. You can't see the original photograph, but you can see the skin that I embroidered over it. And it's everything started from this process. You can go further. And I created plates that actually try to explain how people feel when they are broadcasting on the different broadcasting wave than other people. And everybody wants to put them back into the main line. You can, and this is part of a project I did about suicidal thoughts and trends among transgenders. You can continue. And finally, that's the dream. Everybody dream of having a pair of boobs and a wonderful, beautiful vagina and deep ones. It's very, very popular to have a deep vagina. And then go ahead. It goes to the real life thing. On the left side, lift up now. On the left side, you can see an abstract. It was I photographed it in the surgery room, and it's kind of, you know, skin, blood, and the covers, and it's a very soft image. And on the other hand, you can see some kind of a processed photograph with embroidery on it that shows what's really things are about. And this is the process after you have surgery. A lot of blood, secretions, using pads, dilating the vagina, and everything is what's written on the right one is you have to suffer in order to be beautiful, and it's a big thing also. And in the end, I hope for harmony. You can see this is works influenced by a stamp technique used by the Indians to stamp on and create materials that are stamped. And I use these medical stamps in order to create carpets that I embroidered on. If you look at it carefully from close distance, you can see that every stamp is different. I embroider it differently with different colors, and it looks it's something that looks for harmony and maybe acceptance. And this is continuation of this work. I work a lot with mandalas and these stamps in order to find maybe some kind of a scientific solution, as you see on the left in this, atomic mandala. So the project is only in the beginning. I mean, I just went through the things that I'm thinking about and trying to develop. But actually, what I want to do in September is invite everybody in different fields to share with me some kind of brainstorming, trying to find a solution to this complex problem, and maybe finding other ways. I'm doing surgeries, that's what I'm doing, and I'm doing art also, which is a big thing to influence opinions. But I like to change the process in a way. I don't know even the method or the dimension that I want that to be, but I challenge other people to join me, and maybe together we'll come something.
Thank you so much. We shall have in about 15 minutes, we shall have a break. You can eat. I would like to get back to the artist, Carolina. Could you maybe talk about your piece? Yes. About, you want to show your book? Is the microphone?
No, what is
Carolina is coming from Eilat, the best place in the world. So we make it short,
Yes.
Carolina.
definitely, yeah. I'm Carolina Sanchez Levy. Ron asked to give us the idea of the beyond the skin. The first thing I thought it was the history of the use of furs, and hides, and what meant to men since the beginning of his time as the prehistoric man, and that took me as well. I remember all the experiments the Nazis made with the skin as well, and I was trying to drive myself through my work, like from the history of the furs, and I make a history of the mink coat that I have, and I make a short story. It's a fictional story, but it's a fictional story. The code that I have, it comes from Lampenstein, Germany. And I built in that code, I built the story. Even though it's fictional, I took the facts from a real life of Carmel. And I took even her own words in many of my regions. And the plot of the story is the inheritance of the Ming Code made in Ampersand, Germany in the 30s. Through the story, when she left Germany at the age of 15, and the mother sent her to the States, and they didn't have much to give her, but she gave her the most treasure thing she has. It was a Ming Code that her husband bought her in the first anniversary. So she went to the States, she became a professor, and she was lecturing all over the world. She has a little sister and a brother. And the sister eventually, they couldn't go back to when the Nazis came, they couldn't go to the States, so they went to Argentina. After Argentina, she has a daughter, and the daughter also got married there. They made Aliyah to Israel. She came to visit her sister. She's already 80, and she wants to give back to forward the Ming Code, which is the treasure of the family. And she meets the sister, the daughter of the sister, the daughter of the daughter. So they say the mother, the grandmother, great-grandmother. And so they gave the codes. And she said that I came to give the codes because I'm going to write a book about anti-Semitism. And it's my, after what I lived, I have to write all my experiences. And because of that, I also kept going with the history of anti-Semitism. I made a lot of things, but because I took off many of the political things, because I didn't want to bring the book about, to make it polemic. And so I talk about the history of anti-Semitism, which is nowadays very much, it has been all the time, since the beginning of the creation of when Moses gave us the tablet of how do you call them? Yeah. So that's the whole story of my work.
Great.
And I also put the photographs of my works in art as an artist. Welcome.
Okay, talking about the tradition and the religion, we were willing to talk about Avi Sperber is sitting here, the right side of mine, and philatelics, okay. And the tefillin, it's a way of praying, and they use a leather strips. We have it here on we have the book here on the table. Yuda, maybe you can show it. You can show the leather, in a way, the skin part of the tefillin. In this book, you can see the part of the stone, original onyx stone, brought from the Negev. Where is the stone? Okay. Marmara. And there is one word in a very ancient Hebrew, Shema. Shema, it's like listen. It's a way to talk about, it's a prayer, communication with God in a way. Listen, I said. So again, it's a kind of using the letter in those object, okay? So great way to bring tradition to our project. Maybe we should end now with Nitsa. You want to speak about your project? Or you want for the second part? You can do it now, okay. And meanwhile, Sigal, maybe you should prepare your performance. Okay. If it's very short, we can do it. Okay. Nitsa, Ginosar.
Hello.
Nitsa, are you okay? Yeah.
Hi. Because there are so many scientists here in this group, and they deal with this subject of beyond the skin. According to science, I decided, and I am not a scientist, I decided to take it to a spiritual direction. So I remember the saying of Rabbi Nachman from Braslov that said that a person is like an onion. You can see it there. You can you peel one layer and another layer, and when you finish to peel all the layers, you reach the tear. So I made a video out of me with many onions, all kind of onions that I bought in the market. The original idea was to go to the south of Israel, where a place that they have a lot of onions fields. But suddenly there was a war and there was no way to reach the place anymore. So we brought all the onions to the Doron's gallery in given time, and we made this film. So this is us. I mean, when you peel a layer by layer, you reach the tear.
And actually tradition as well.
Yes.
We are the traditional part now. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. We should have another short message of Aviva Shemer, and then we shall get to the performance and to the of Yuda. אם זה קצר, okay. So Aviva will speak in Hebrew and we shall translate it in short.
שמי אביבה שמר, אני אומנית רב-תחומית. אני עוסקת באור ובאור, באלף.
רק שנייה.
My name is Aviva Shemer. I'm a multidisciplinary artist and I deal with skin and with light.
בצורות שונות, גם בציור, גם בפיסול וגם במצבים.
Painting, sculpture and installations.
אבל משהו קרה בארץ ב7 באוקטובר. ובדיוק דורון פנה אליי, ואז אמרתי לו, כל מה שאני יכולה ומרגישה כרגע זה לעשות בד גדול, וכתוב עליו וידום אהרון.
When the tragedy happened in our country, this was when I was approached to join the project. What I could feel in that I can create a big piece of cloth and write on it, and Aharon, the priest, was silent.
כך הרגשתי. כמו מישהו שמתו לו 2 הבנים, והוא לא יכול היה לעשות כלום, לא יכול היה לדבר אפילו. זו השתיקה הכי כואבת והכי משמעותית שאני מכירה בכלל בכל התורה כולה.
Aharon lost his 2 sons, and what he was only able to do was to be silent.
בד אחר שיכולתי לעשות זה הותר לפרסום. הותר לפרסום, ידעתי שמיד אחרי זה יבואו שמות כל אלה שנרצחו, ורק זה יכולתי לעשות, אז עשיתי עוד בד, הותר לפרסום.
Another clause that I made was a large piece of clause on which it was written, it was released right now dead. Meaning that was the beginning of the announcement of another someone who died.
העבודה השלישית הייתה השמלה הזאת שאתם רואים כאן לפניכם, זו שמלה שתפרתי עם אותיות מספר תהילים.
Third work is a garment, a dress, on which I embroidered words from Psalms.
אבל טבעתי אותה במלט ובגבס, כי ככה הרגשתי משותקת.
And I added to it cement and glue because I felt sort of paralyzed.
ואז סיפן חבר שלי מניו יורק,
Then a friend called from New York.
הוא קולגה שביחד אנחנו עושים עבודות של אור באלף.
We are doing together works dealing with light.
ואמר לי, אביבה, זה לא מתאים לך, את זאת שמדברת כל הזמן על אור, את זאת שבשערים שלך כתוב, יש שווה שי, את ארט-תרפיסטית שמלמדת לכולם איך להיות בשמחה, את זאת שכתבת כוחה של מילה, שנלמד בכל בתי הספר, ואת מדברת על החושך.
And he told me, come on, Aviva, you are dealing with light, you are the one that brings light to everyone. You have to do something about it.
ואז לא ישנתי כל הלילה, בבוקר טלפנתי לו ואמרתי לו, אתה צודק. ואז עשיתי את הפסל על פי שיר של חיים נחמן ביאליק עם שמש.
In response, I created a sculpture according to a song, a poem by Bialik, which is called
עם שמש.
With Sun.
אחרי פרעות קישינב הוא כתב, בימים שאין אור ואין שמש, קחו את השמש מלבכם, ושאו אותה על ראשכם, שאו שמש על ראשכם, שאו שמש.
He wrote, in times of bloodshed and sorrow, take the light out of your heart and body and put it and raise it up and shine everywhere.
ואז הפסל הזה, עשיתי אותו בארץ ועשיתי אותו גם בצרפת, פרויקט מאוד גדול, 4 מטר פסל של שאו שמש, ואני חושבת שכך ורק על ידי האור אנחנו ננצח. זאת אומרת, רק על ידי, אם נהיה בחושך ובשיתוק, אנחנו לא נזוז, אבל רק האור ינצח, וזה השדר שלי לעולם.
By bringing up the sun and the light everywhere, this is the way we win. We and all the world would win.
תודה רבה.
Thank you so much. Sigal, would you like to say something about your creation, and then you shall make your small performance, and then we shall have our break.
Press it longer, a few seconds longer.
So my concept is skin and colors from different ethnics around the world. All of us are human beings, and it doesn't matter where you are from and what is your religion. My images are photos that I shoot at different cities around the world. I also create art collages with positive messages, as you can see all those images around here. Change, love is my weapon, let's live together in peace and imagine peace. So fashion is my vehicle of promoting positive messages and happiness to the world.
Well, mostly welcome. We came to the second part. We improved our condition with the Zoom. So we shall invite some of our international friends. I see that Danny Child. Danny, are you there? Okay, I see you. Okay, he's there.
Yes, yeah, I'm here.
How are you? Danny's from Los Angeles.
I'm well, thank you. Thank you, yes,
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Would you like to say one sentence about your idea?
Sure.
Okay.
My piece, I think, is that one right there, up in the corner on the left. My idea was the idea of the skin as an intersection.
Okay.
I made this portrait in the studio, and then Doron invited me to participate in this project, and I found this piece to correlate really well with what I thought his idea was. Although I didn't find myself in any of the particular categories that he had outlined, I created my own. And if I may, I'll just try to read you the statement just briefly, because it's pretty short, but since I wrote it, it's more clear than me speaking in a way. So if I may, it's the skin is intersection. Enveloping the soul somewhere between the firmament and the dust, the skin translates our sense of the world and embodies that intersection between the inside and the outside. The skin is surface, a physicality which defines that imaginary and very real border of the internal world and the external one. Also acts as a plane of conveyance, an organ of connection. If the early maps were carved into animal skin, they were presaged by what must have been the first maps, the familiar marks and contours of our own skin, which we use to identify one another, and the living boundary that both defines and contains us. As a corollary, I would like to consider the familiar city street as an organ that defines common boundaries and also serves to connect us. If the skin is the divine intersection bestowed and shaped by nature, the street and the road are the membrane and organ which are human-shaped and express a collective boundary, a path of conveyance and a point of mutual exchange, just like the skin. If the skin embodies the boundaries of our individual sense, the road expresses the boundaries of our collective sense. As a concept, intersection is a foundational aspect of art. What is creation if not a combination of ideas, or a marriage of two resulting in three or more? Whether it's an intersection describing a metaphorical relationship or an intersection which envelops a physical confrontation, the concept of intersection, like art, is at once an idea that describes an interplay of forces as well as the locus of that concept.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great time in Los Angeles. I promised my friend, a great artist, Rajul Mehta. Rajul is an Indian artist living in Singapore. It's now late, it's midnight in Singapore. Where are you, Rajul? Rajul? Rajul Mehta? Okay, we see Ratna. Ratna is in Pennsylvania. Ratna is a great, another sister of mine. We curated together a few projects in India, and Ratna is a great artist. Ratna, would you like to say a few words?
Hello, everyone. And yeah, thank you, Doron, for inviting us here today. And it's wonderful to see some of the faces on Zoom and hear about amazing art. Okay, so for me, I'll keep it brief. So yes, again, I would like to read the concept note if that's okay. So for me, the idea of beyond the skin is inspired by the idea of a supreme being, an entity perceived through diverse human depictions and yet unseen. So when I heard this concept of beyond the skin, it was like I was thinking, what can I relate with it as an artist? And then this idea came to me that despite the lack of empirical evidence, many place their faith in this higher power transcending external appearances, colors, and genders. While gender and physical appearance aid in connection, the essence of the supreme being surpasses mere skin and form. The intricate fabric of Indian culture is woven with a diverse array of gods and goddesses, each representing unique aspects of life, nature, and cosmic forces. As a child, listening to the tales of these deities from my elders, I gradually came to believe in their existence as powerful beings, regardless of gender. Across cultures, diverse narratives of powerful male and female figures endure, uniting believers in a singular transcendent power beyond gender, color, and physical form. So for me, the idea of beyond the skin is something that's supreme and that's beyond the form. So I have created few works around this theme for this exhibition. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Nancy. And I hope and I guess that we have maybe a surprise for you. Do we have a music part in our session? I just want to introduce you to Hans van Brandenburg from Berlin. Where are you, Hans? Are you with us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear.
Ah,
And I asked whether we shall have a sample of music.
yeah, of course. Can you see me also? No.
Of course we see you.
Ah,
Hans is a wonderful artist, musician, and visual artist. And I think that, oh, here we are.
yeah. Actually, I made a video about this. Is the skin I used. This is orange skin, dried up, and this is a drum skin. So, but if you want to hear some music, I just play some music. I just improvise something. I don't know. Actually, my piece was so sensible that even I used only words, different language, which say skin in 10, 15 languages. And I did a mistake. I did a mistake because I have a Ukrainian friend and I used the Russian word for skin. And since then, we lost communication. So skin is a border. And this is a very sensible thing. It can connect people and it can also separate people. So this was a very painful little incident while I was working on that piece. This is, I hope this kind of little piece of music can create some peace, because as I experienced, was a very painful little thingy just because I used a wrong word for skin. So, but I also I learned something. I learned the Hebrew word for skin, which is or, isn't it?
Oh,
Or.
true. That's true.
Yeah, but it's very close to the Hebrew word of light, isn't it?
That's true. But that's another letter. It
Yeah,
sounds
but
the
it's
same.
yeah,
O
I
and
know,
O,
but the sound, you know,
yeah, Aviva talked
for me
about
the
it.
sound is very, very close, and I
That's
like
true.
this kind of combination of light and skin. Okay, thank you very
How
much
is the
for.
light in Berlin now?
Oh, it's pretty dark and it's pretty cold, so we are really freezing. But next week there will be really like a heat wave. We're expecting like a heat wave, like 30 degrees Celsius. So it's really. Thank you very
Okay.
much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
דורון,
Yeah.
דורון,
זאת מירה.
Mira.
כן.
Mira Marcus Kalish.
Can I say something about light in light?
Yes, our law is saying something in short, but you're invited to join us. Yes.
Okay, so I will say it very, very shortly, but first of all, you're doing a great job. Doron is doing a really fascinating thing with artists and scientists and all the combination, the mirror of life. And I really think that the skin is the mirror of our life, the story of our life. Everything is sculptured in our skin, like was said from Los Angeles a minute ago. But I want to come back. All is written in our skin, everything. We just have to look at the mirror of life. But I want to relate to what was said just now about the light and the skin. In Hebrew, only in Hebrew, is the same word, the same letters, just one difference. The light is the first letter in Hebrew, and the skin with the same three letters is the 15th letter in Hebrew. And I'm writing poetry, and that's what I did in this skin exhibition. And I just want to put, because it was mentioned earlier about the Bible and about the Judaism and the days that we are going through. So I want to combine all, and I just want to give you one clue. The difference, as I said, between light, or in Hebrew, and skin, or with a R in Hebrew, is 15 letters. And this is in gematry, God. So you can fly as high as you want. Everything will be written on our skin, but somebody is taking care of. I don't know, but maybe. So that's what I wanted, and I wrote, and congratulations and good luck.
But besides being a poet, Mira, can you say something, just one sentence about your being a scientist as well?
Okay, so
say, what are you doing?
Speaking about God, my main area is brain research. But I'm looking on different sites in brain research, our cognition, our diseases, you know, from very young kids to elderly. How can we keep, life, but not prolong, but rather healthy aging? So I'm looking on all that, and most importantly, the reliability of science. How can we ensure our prediction? How can we verify what we understand? Because we are still very small on Earth. We don't know yet all. The world is really fascinating. We know a little bit of. So we have to be very precise, and we have to do the data science the right way, and the prediction, especially in brain, especially in disease. And we have wonderful professors here sitting around the table, that each one of them can tell you a different story, from skin to brain
to human being, to psychiatry, to feeling, to imagining. Everything is there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I see that Michelle is with us. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Doron. Hi,
I would
everyone.
like to ask Henny Westbrook, Henny from London. Henny is our partner for a long time. And actually, I think that Henny is willing to mention your creation, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, I haven't.
But you need a microphone.
I haven't actually spoken to you about it, so I hope you don't mind.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Michelle?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
With pleasure.
Yeah. Henny, you have a microphone. You need to talk very close to the.
Do I press?
Yes.
Hello? Can you let me know it's not working? It's not working.
Well, what? You can hear you. That's awesome.
Oh, okay. All right. I just, it's on the whole, I wanted to, it's about skin as surface and skin as canvas. So I just wanted to mention, because there's some interest in it, and maybe also this the graphs collection, that about makeup art, which is really a field of its own. I know very little about it. I just did some research, and it's I mean, there are some very interesting people who actually deal with it, and it really can be considered an art form. And also to do with cosmetic, which in ancient Egypt, you probably know, it was used, kohl was used in order to prevent eye disease. So there, I came across this artist called Alex Box. She's obviously very interesting, and she worked with many designers and as a fashion stylist. And it, you know, it's when perhaps can look into this some other time. I must say, with what I'm going to say, I feel a little bit, I've been superseded tonight, because what everybody presented was so new and wonderful. It really went beyond the skin. And my article is really on the skin, the surface of the skin. So sorry, absolutely. I'm really glad that all this came out. So I'm really quite happy to hear about all this. I just want to kind of go on from where we started off originally in our project of art and science, which we presented at Imperial College in London in 2023. Several artists explored the synthesis of technology and artistic expression, especially through the paradoxical medium of the skin, incorporating skin products, animal hides, latex, silicone, as well as body painting and performance. Their work interrogated this organ that is protected but porous, our barrier and boundary against the world, and yet the locus of our sense of touch, which allows us to feel and be connected to everything in it. So I wanted to illustrate it with Michelle Platnik, who was one of our artists in the art and science project. And I have got here a book about his works. Perhaps you can look up some of the things I might mention. Michelle's credentials are also as an engineer and an artist. And what is particularly fascinating, what he did later is the so-called living paintings.
Yeah.
In 2013, he exhibited a video performance staging and inserting himself into the scenes of Francis Bacon's painting, like in the Black Triptych, which was painted after the death of George Dyer, his partner, where his figures dissolved and transforms in agony. Michel sets the figures into a three-dimensional video space where actors bring their tortured actions to life. After he does a similar things with after-school studies from a portrait of Lucian Freud, which is depicted here. And apart from Bacon's work, he he created a new sense of works called, I'm making it a bit shorter, called Bordermine, inspired by the Austrian artist Egon Schiele. For instance, self-portrait with physalis or self-portrait with checkered shirt. He painted over his own face and body using his own skin as a canvas. All his works are video installations where he overprints himself or overpaints himself and other actors. I think Plachnik's practice is a kind of once removed actionism, which, like the Viennese actionism, was performance art transgressing the naked bodies. Like Günter Bruss, Hermann Nils Otto Mühl, and Rudolf Schwarzkogel made effective use of their bodies as the site of art making, using it as the surface for the production of art. They, as well as Plachnik, aimed towards a totalizing art practice. Michel refused to be confined within a conceptual idea of painting, theater, or sculpture, spreading beyond and breaking the frame.
Thank you so much.
Would you like to
Michelle, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Good evening. Great that
Good
you
evening.
joined us. I think that it's very interesting what Henry told about you. Could you add something your own about the so-called using skin or makeup or converting the face?
Yeah, maybe. Sorry.
No,
Maybe because there's a new work. Actually, it's a work I did this summer as a performance. The one who is shown, who's right now exhibited in Venice. And actually, the one that is just like the kind of black and white called Garden Muse, that I can see it from the camera. And so actually this work, I worked with a model, and she sent me, because there are always different things for each work I'm checking, and this one was had to do with if we talk about beyond the skin. So this one talks a bit about transhumanity and also how technology can influence our own being and who we are. And actually, what I did in this work was to work on with a photograph of a model. Then I went to in artificial intelligence, and I from her photograph, I generated different versions of her, giving some other references, and then I had this photograph generated by artificial intelligence. And what I did is I reproduced that work on her physical body. So it started from her, went to AI, and then came back to her. So came back to a certain physicality, her own body. So how AI actually influenced how she looks, how she is, just like technology is often the continuity of our own body. It makes us feel our body differently, experience our body differently. So it's actually a series of several projects that I did with AI that I use in different ways, and this is one of them. So maybe if it's for today, it will be like my beyond the skin actually reference that I wanted to mention about the project. So there's always the skin as a canvas, but there's also systems of power created, in this case, by artificial intelligence or by art history in other works, or by the book of Genesis in another work I've made. So there are always different aspects of the works. And thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
By
you.
the way, just small detail. We are leaving a small piece of yours to Mariana, sitting here. Mariana is the head of the Saturnia of the hotel here, and we brought a small piece of yours. So you're representing us in the future here in Venice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
אפשר שגם אני אשתלב במשהו?
Sarah,
מלצר.
yeah.
כן.
Well, we have, we speak
אני
in English.
יכולה בבקשה?
Sarah, we speak in English.
אני אדבר בעברית. אז תואילו רק לתרגם. אני רציתי להראות את העבודה שלי שעשיתי.
שרה, שנייה.
רואים אותה?
שרה, תני לי להגיד מי את. אוקיי,
בבקשה.
שרה מלצר, she's at 95 או 90? איזה שנה?
96.
96, she's painted 96 years. She's a Holocaust survivor. And she's joining our project. And she will say now what she is donating to the project, and we shall translate it. כן, בואי תגידי.
אז אני יכולה?
כן.
טוב, אז אני רוצה לומר שאני עשיתי מאמץ לגלם זיכרון של כל אלה שהושמדו, 6 מיליוני יהודים בני עמי שהושמדו על ידי בשואה. ואני חיפשתי דרך באיזו טכניקה אני יכולה להביע את הזוועה ואת הזיכרון הנורא הזה.
רק שנייה, אני אגיד, רגע. Sarah was willing to find a solution how to relate to the topic of memory after the Holocaust, and she created a new way, a new language of creating. כן.
והטכניקה הזאת, הרציונל לטכניקה הוא שעשיתי את זה בפפיר משה, דיוק נאות, אותם אני שרפתי בתוך התנור.
Okay. The idea was to create new portraits, faces, by creating papier mâché. It's a paper, a work, and she's using it in the kitchen, in the oven in the kitchen, really burning it in the personal kitchen. You can see the work in her hands. Okay. Okay.
והרציונל הוא שזה עשוי פפיר משה מתוך עיתון, ועיתון מסמל היסטוריה, והקריאה של העיתון כדי לעשות את הפפיר משה זה מסמל מנהג ביהדות של אבל, זיכרון על המתים. והשריפה בתנור כבר אני לא צריכה להסביר מה זה מסמל. לכן הדיוקן הזה מסמל את האור השרוף של כל הנכחדים. ותודה רבה.
תודה רבה. Well, this portrait, as you see, symbolizing those who are not with us anymore, and I think that we don't need any other words to express the new skin that Sarah created. By the way, Sarah is a PhD. She's dealing with education. She was many years director of many art institutions in Israel, and she's showing her crafts all over the world as a part of a memory. So I think great.
Bravo!
Maybe we should pass now to Yolanda. Yolanda is also living in a very bad place in Eilat. It's the best place in the world. Yeah, okay. יש לך מיקרופון? You have a microphone?
No.
Over here. Yeah.
Okay. I have to do something to pray.
No. שומעים מצוין. I'm hearing you very well.
My name is Yolanda Antal. I'm a sculptor and painter.
And I did also some fashion show in leather, actually, so it's also somehow connected. When I got this subject on the skin, I was thinking, how can I present my art, the sculptures in this case, together with the subject. So I decided actually to print on skin my sculptures. You can see one of them here, which are sculptures and painted over also, and they are painted on the skin. I will open it for a moment to show better the work that I did actually. For a moment. I'll show you now in a small scale the work that I did. I did a kind of triptych printed on the skin of some of my sculptures that are suitable for these subjects. This one, for example, is a naked woman. And I use this sculpture to for the idea of painting on our own skin the tattoos that almost everybody these days are doing on their skin. Our skin is like a manifest for what we love, whom we love, what we want to say, ideas, paintings, and so on. So this sculpture was used for this idea. The second sculpture that I use is this one, that actually is a crying woman, Mother Earth, with a broken heart.
Can you also
which,
show us
yes,
here? Thank you.
actually penetrated body and skin, of course. And I used it with blood all around, which for me, you can understand it in many ways. Everybody can translate it the way he wants. The broken heart, everybody. But for me, it was the 7th October, of course, in Israel. And that's how we felt, and all the blood around everything. And the third piece is this sculpture, which is actually a scalpel of a combination between woman and butterfly. And for me, it's the symbol of the symbiosis between us and between nature, to keep the nature, to love the animals and all the fauna and flora. And actually, I printed her and I added her some light from her head, which is the symbol of being saint, because she makes, let's say, the peace, and she combines everything together. So this is my work about that, except that I want only for a short minute. I did it as a triptych, as you can see here and over there. 3 pieces, as here. Because this reminds me something Indian. And the Indians used, first of all, they had a lot of respect to animals and to the wildlife. So I chose to do it this way. It's also original. The size of it, in reality, is 2 meters on 50 of this triptych. And for a short moment, I will show you also a little bit of my leather art. You can see here, if you can see from distance, but you can see afterwards. This book is my fashion models in leather, but this leather is hand painted, hand cut, hand applications. It's very unique and artistic art in leather. I did it for about 10 years. So
Okay.
that's me.
Thank you so much. Talking about it, maybe we should continue with Adas. Actually, Adas, I think that you started to work in Australia. Am I right? No. Okay. Can you get the microphone?
Nina. פנינה.
פנינה גם מבקשת לדבר. פנינה, one second, okay? after הדס.
אוקיי.
Okay.
Like, please close to the microphone.
Yeah. In the slideshow, you will see a collection of my art since 1983. So it's much earlier than Australia.
Okay.
And this is my artist booth. And for me, in my art, meeting of skins means the presence of love. I want to read something just about me that you have an idea. I was born in Tel Aviv. My father was a painter, and from him I got the ability, the talent, but from my mother, the eye. My first experience as an artist was with photography in the London College of Printing in London. With a solo exhibition, the Photographers Gallery in 1972. I left for photography for transcendental meditation, and for the following 10 years, I taught the TM technique to 1,500 people in Tel Aviv. By the way, this image is the image that is here in the poster, and I will talk about it later. In early 80s in California, I started painting on thick industrial black tar paper, and I brought some, examples who wants to just touch it and feel it. I developed my own personal painting technique of scratching and deep etching, creating rich varied surface that connects me to the earth, to primal existence of nature's harmony. My paintings express my life in a tribal, primitive, expressive, somewhat surrealistic style. Animistic culture of tribal people is part of my visual world, where objects and mysterious creatures live with me in a charming fantasy in a digital world and virtual reality. You can all look there. I engrave my desires into black paper with naked figures, with open vaginas, with giant penises and massive breasts. All resonate with each other, creating harmony. After spending 20 years in Australia and countless journeys to remote parts of the globe, I have been adopting a pagan ritualistic process in service of my art. My paintings devoid of tension between the masculine and feminine, both having strong visibility and live well with features of modernity such as tanks, airplanes, robots, along with mythical creatures, skeletons, animals, insects, trees, and various plants. Reality and imagination abide together. Now about this painting, here the blue one, it's called New Family. It's a very personal portrait of my relationship with Suzanne while living in Western Australia. She's the one with the big breasts, huge really, quite realistic, with a kangaroo on her shoulder, being an Australian, her 4 children beside her. The top one, who is floating, facing the sky, is the one who rejected the whole family. Next is an upside down daughter who has been crazy, followed by her gorgeous hunk of a brother with his erect penis. The last one is the mother of Suzanne's grandchild, relaxing on a tree. Both she and her brother are artists who resonate very well with me. At the bottom is our little granddaughter.
The figure on the right is myself carrying on my shoulder the wagon, Caron, which served to bring the Jews to Auschwitz with my mother. Thus, I'm a second generation Holocaust survivor. This painting was created in 2000. Never before did I deal with the Holocaust in my art, but living together with the Christian exaggerated our origin differences in a rather harmonious manner. It is a painting that portrays big love, acceptance, and very close togetherness. It has been my new family for a long time, which I cherish in Australia.
Thank you so much. Okay, I just want to invite a very dear brother, friend, actually the one who almost made this evening possible, Luigi Viola. Luigi is a master artist living here in Venice, was teaching many years in the academy here. And Luigi will present his project. Luigi, you're talking in Italian?
English.
English, great, okay.
My English very bad, very bad.
Okay. Yes, it does it. 1 minute.
Thank
So
you.
we shall put your presentation. Okay. Nice.
My name is Luigi Viola. I am an artist and live near Venice, in terraferma of Venice. My English is very, very bad, so I prefer to read. Posso parlare? Sì? Allora.
So we're living on the mainland.
Yeah. Allora parlo in italiano.
Okay.
Il mio primo lavoro sulla pelle,
My first work on the skin,
è del 1973.
1973.
Ho realizzato una performance
I realized
a Milano di scrittura sul corpo.
Di scrittura sul corpo.
Di scrittura sul corpo.
Era
writing on
the skin. Scripture on the skin.
On the skin.
Scripture on the skin. Because it's sacred. No,
Sì.
sacro.
Sacro, sì.
Scrittura sacro.
Sì. Mi sono rifatto a un antico testo latino, Plinio,
With Latin text.
Dove Plinio indicava quali parti del corpo umano sono diciamo, legate a una funzione sacra, a una dimensione sacra.
There's different parts of the body relate to different connections and associative performances also.
Così appunto ho diciamo, pensato al corpo come un luogo della scrittura e di ripensamento e di restituzione del sacro alla dimensione dell'umano, no? All'uomo.
Okay, so to give back the sacred body. È molto complicato questo, molto profondo. It's quite complicated and profound because it's also slightly religious. Being Italian, this even your way of describing, in modo che stai descrivendo il discorso, è sacro. It's sacred and it's a little bit yes, it's. Go ahead, please, because
Vabbè, non voglio parlare a lungo di questo lavoro, volevo solo dire che insomma ho iniziato molti anni fa.
Yeah, started a long time ago with work.
Lavorando anche sul corpo, sulla pelle, diciamo proprio del corpo.
Working with the body and the skin.
Invece il lavoro che ho, diciamo, che ho voluto presentare,
the work is presenting today,
per questa occasione, è un lavoro recente che che io ho realizzato durante il periodo del corona, del Covid.
So, yeah, Corona works.
In quel periodo io ero come tutti noi, quasi tutti noi,
Like everybody,
ero
we were at
in
home.
una grande solitudine, stavo nel mio studio tra la
Solitude.
laguna e il mare a Grado, nella laguna di Grado,
Laguna di Grado.
e passeggiavo sulla spiaggia.
Walking on the beach. Spending time
Passeggiando sulla spiaggia
in
ho cominciato a
solitude.
vedere degli strani organismi
Strange organisms in the water
mai visti prima,
that he's never seen before,
fatti solo di pelle,
made of only skin, strange
no,
formations,
diciamo, molto però poetici, molto estetici,
poetic and aesthetic, describable,
che cambiavano colore con
and they would
il
change colors.
progresso della luce anche durante il giorno.
So he would, yeah, so that,
Ma vuoti, completamente vuoti all'interno.
but empty inside,
Uno strano organismo
almost without soul.
tra il regno animale e il regno vegetale.
So in between the animal and vegetable, essentially.
Quindi un organismo ibrido.
Hybrid organisms.
Diciamo, ibrido come ibrida sempre di più, mi sembrava la nostra
Hybrid seems to be our condition, our human condition.
Quindi ecco,
Here we are. So these are the shapes that he was seeing on his walks during Corona.
Quindi si tratta di, diciamo, di quasi come si può dire, parti, perché poi erano molti,
There was lots of them, numerous.
no? E sembravano parte di un unico organismo. In
They
qualche
seemed,
maniera, no? Anche se-
tipo una scuola di pesce.
sì.
They seemed like small parts of a bigger mass, almost like a school of fish.
E quindi insomma sono stato colpito da queste
He was quite shocked by this
elementi quasi archeologici che
archaeological
sembravano
elements,
affiorare dal mare,
flowers of the sea,
queste pelli aperte,
skins,
no?
open skins,
sulla riva del mare
floating on the top of the water.
Insomma ho voluto cogliere in questi lavori la poesia,
Poetry,
e anche l'ambiguità di questi organismi.
of these
Come
strange
sempre
organisms never seen
e anche
before.
il nostro organismo. No? Ecco, e mi sembrava quasi un elemento di evoluzione, no?
An evolutionary
Qualcosa che si stava trasformando,
transformation, evolutionary
prefigurando un mondo nuovo, un mondo
new
diverso, un
world,
mondo
new
ancora
concepts,
non
new
conosciuto.
animals,
Non conosciuto.
unknown.
Questo è un po'. E qui ho presentato tre lavori, no?
3 new works during this period.
Qui ce n'è uno, no?
This is one.
Quindi vi faccio vedere 3. E vedete che qui questi organismi molto particolari, quasi
This is a very
indistinguibili, no?
indistinguishable, strange shapes,
Sembrano
colors.
quasi nascere
They look like they've been born from the sand,
e sono mescolati con altri segni.
and they're mixed with other signs. Mutant, in fact.
Ecco,
Cioè, sai che ho notato anche queste cose in Australia?
eh.
I just added something that I also during this, I've also noticed these strange things in Melbourne in the water. Just strange organisms never seen before in my life. No, è molto strano anche. Sorry, carry on. Yeah.
You know, we need to
Wrap it up.
really,
Dobbiamo
because
finire,
we have
sì,
another-
dobbiamo andare sul punto.
Ok, questi sono comunque accanto a questi organismi nuovi ci sono i segni, si vedeva, no? Dei segni della presenza umana, no?
Oh, okay, so you could see reflectively next to the image, next to yes, this presence of humanity, so a footstep or a handprint. Yes, exactly. Next to this kind of strange hybrid skin material.
Okay.
Bene, prego.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, it seems that we got, sì, hanno il possibile? Just a moment, just.
פנינה.
פשוט אנשים כבר, it has to be not one sentence, half a sentence, okay? Like
something very short.
Yeah, really few words.
Microphone, please.
Yeah, you need a microphone.
I would like to talk about my artwork, self here. My image doesn't take on myself.
Microphone, לא שומעים, לא שומעים. Yeah.
Yes. My image doesn't equal myself. I'm standing in front of a mirror with mirror letters, and the camera is taking picture of me, my image in the mirror, the two images of myself and my image. And it talks about an artwork that talks about the image and the self in psychology, in philosophy, and also connected to art. And I say some words.
Is it a doppelganger? Is it a doppelganger? Is it a doppelganger?
That's what you call it, apparently.
Yeah.
Each portrait, it's connected to the subject of the exhibition.
One meaning.
Is a portrait making only skin deep, or does it support it to penetrate beneath the surface and capture the essence of the person sitting in front of the artist? Can drawing the extremities of human being and the systems visible on the outside of us actually reveals our truth. The artwork refers to the representation of the human figure in art, psychology, and philosophy. In the art field, the work corresponds with René Magritte, Cécile Pampip. The other work it corresponds with is just because of one and switches. The representation of the figure, the reflection in the mirror, and the concept of the eye receive multiple explanations and interpretations in psychological and sociological theories in the last 150 years. Lacan, Freud, Jung, Cooley, and others. In his theory, The Looking Glass Self, Charles Cooley writes in his essay, Human Nature and the Social Order. A self-idea of this sort seems to have three principal elements: the imagination of our appearance to the other person, the imagination of his judgment of that appearance, and some sort of self-feeling, such as pride and mortification. Thus, when we observe the other skin, how do we judge it, and how do we judge our own when looking in the mirror?
Yeah, I think that we shall, so thank you so much. Amir, maybe we should get to your presentation, and you, we shall.
Doron, I also want to say a few words.
No, that's it. Okay, Amir Cohen. That's a great chance to acknowledge again. Amir made all the design, the installation, the graphic design since the beginning, and actually was the first designer and partner to the Marcus project in 2001 in Venice, all those years. So, bravo.
Maybe one word. Yeah, okay. So maybe one word, one notion about being a designer for such a project or a series of projects of the Markers since 2001. This is an evolving process of design, and it means crazy us, it's changing all the time. It's not just an ongoing from every 2 years, it's changing from minute to minute. It's something that we know much more, we're more familiar with it nowadays with the internet and so on. But when we started in 2001, it was something that I need to understand how to deal with the language, the visual language that developed almost every week when we speak out and show and represent what we are doing. Anyway, I will go to my work. You have it. Stop it before it will run for me. So, okay. Human, mediator, emotional, visual temptation, reflection, boundaries, skin, playground, fetishism, obsessed behavior, social norms, fixation, desires, bodies, creates, identity, reshape, body, skin, public, trauma, intersection, experience, manipulation, empathize, contemplate, trauma. No, not this one. Yeah, this one. The human skin as a visual and tactile medium serves as a powerful mediator for conveying mental and emotional states. This artwork, intentional visual temptation, aims to engage the audience emotionally and intellectually, promoting reflection on societal attitudes and the boundaries of acceptability in visual representation. In this artwork, human skin is the playground for fetishism and representation of obsessed behavior, explores social norms, fixation, desires, the human side, and the complex relationship between individuals and their own bodies. I've created a mixed media image which challenge perceptions, inviting viewers to contemplate the complexities of obsession and its impact on identity and culture. This artwork uses reshaped futuristic body form and skin as a medium to represent public domain trauma, creating a powerful intersection of individual experience and collective pain. Through the manipulation of skin texture, symbolic colors and elements, the artwork becomes a visual dialogue, inviting the viewer to empathize, and contemplate shared trauma. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Judith?
I'd like to present briefly the skin snake or the skin skin of the snake slough. Next slide, please. Next slide. The phenomenon of shedding its skin is very well known among snakes. This is a beautiful and fascinating biological event which appears a number of times in a snake's life, and it also involves many other species like cockroaches and other species. The butterflies is a bit different because it doesn't just shed its skin, it changes completely.
Yeah.
Next slide, please. And this is another example of the beautiful occurrence. Next slide. Next slide, please. No. So I often would like to experience shedding my own skin and try to change, try to improve and come up as a new one. Next slide, please. And the next one. And often, especially when I feel down, then it is one of my dreams. Next one, please. And the next. Next one. Sometimes the outcome of such a feeling is eating and expanding, and then the volume of the body surrounded by skin is increased. Next slide. And the next. Next slide. And these are a few other works on the snake skin. Next slide, please. Hold. Again. Again. Next slide, please. Next. Next. And next. Sometimes in order to improve one's appearance, one possibility is bariatric surgery, and I underwent such a surgery. And one of the common outcomes is surplus of skin. And again, a problem with the surface. Next slide, please. The next. Next slide. Next. Next. Next slide. Next. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. And okay. So this is just a few examples of a series of works around those ideas influenced by that biological phenomenon. Thank you.
I just wanted to check with our guests, Nina Shaw from Jerusalem. Nina, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. So you should say, who are you and what are you dealing with?
Okay, I'm an archaeologist, and I was the curator of the Dead Sea Scrolls. And the Dead Sea Scrolls...
לא שומעים, פנינה, לא שומעים אותך.
למה? עכשיו?
כן, עכשיו בסדר.
Okay. So I'm an archaeologist, and I was a curator of the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls are thought to be the discovery of the 20th century, and they're written, most of them are written on parchment. Okay, so, and parchment, of course, is made of skin. And mainly they're made of sheep and goat, but in this case, in the scroll that I'm presenting, I didn't see it, but I hope it's there. The sound scroll is probably made of deer skin. And it's used as a substrate for the text written on it. Leather was probably chosen because it is portable, prevalent, hard-wearing, and suitable for writing with available means, quill and reed.
פנינה, אני מצטער, אני לא יודע אם זה בגלל בעיה טכנית, אבל לא מצליחים להבין את אנחנו שומעים את הדיבור, אבל לא מבינים מה נאמר.
Okay, okay, can we share a screen and then I'll just show you the image? The poster that you have that I'm presenting is actually a multispectral image of the sound scroll from the Dead Sea Scrolls. And if we share the screen, let's see if you allow me to share the screen, then I can show you what actually can you see it? Can you see it now?
No, it's a black square.
Yeah, now look at this, okay?
Oh,
this
right
is
now, yeah. Here, we can see.
This is a multispectral image of the Dead Sea, of the sound scroll that I have in the poster there. And the multispectral image is actually in different wavelengths, okay? you can see all the skin. In a minute, you'll see all the leather and how it was preserved for 2,000 years. And as you can see at the bottom, it's all black, right? It's all black because it was it disintegrated within these years. But now, when you take all the different wavelengths and you put them one on top of the other, you can see the skin itself, the leather itself, the parchment, and how it's all wavy. And look at the bottom, and you'll see in a minute how it all comes back to life. Okay, watch it, watch it, watch it, and you see all the letters are still there.
פנינה,
כן.
פנינה,
כן, כן.
אני ממש מצטער, אבל אנחנו נצטרך נורא לקצר כי לא מבינים טוב, ואני פשוט אחזור על פי הטקסט מפה, אנחנו בקצרה נגיד פה אחרי שנסיים, בעצם על מה העניין. איך? Yeah, we shall make it short, and I will translate what you said later on. I really apologize. The quality, we had a problem with the quality. Okay, thank you so much for attending. Okay, bye. Eli Levy, can you speak like 1 minute, very short, about your creation? Eli?
I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah. The microphone okay? At your part, you hear my voice and understand?
We shall be able to hear if it will be very short. If it will be very short, we can understand. So only few sentences. Okay, good.
In general, my idea is about a substance that you like. My idea is about it's a science fictional, fantastic idea about something that you eat and a material that replaces you over time. I think about making a video art where it will show that the person that is on the video over time is being transformed by the thing that he eat, and the thing that he eat become him. It's not obesity or anorexia, it's more that he is not himself. And it's a bit a whole.
Could you share a screen and show us what you're talking about?
I don't have images for that.
Oh, okay.
But if I will have I can show you something, not an image of mine, but something that will show what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Not again, not okay.
Okay, Eli.
We have your image here. I think that we shall concentrate on.
I will show you.
Image.
Well,
Because we are really at the end. We have after 3 hours, so it's really.
Okay, no problem. I just want to show I will share one picture.
Okay.
Now, this is from a game. Now, the idea is, as you see, there is a monster here, which is mimicking a chest or a home or other thing. The idea is that, now I'll stop sharing. The idea is that what the person in the video eating is mimicking him, is transforming and changing him and replacing him, like the picture I showed you a second ago.
Okay. Nice idea.
Thank you
so much.
We're going to sing a song together to finish. And we started already. Here we go. Everybody, the words are on the screen. Let's finish on a happy note tonight, guys, okay? We might need some more volume. Can we start from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got you Under my skin. We need to find the words. Karaoke, come on, guys. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Everybody pick up the microphone, switch it on. Right. Let's finish in a happy mode. Here we go. Here we go. Frank Sinatra, everybody. Thank you, everybody. What an amazing evening. I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart, you're really a part of me. 'Cause I've got you under my skin. I've tried so not to give in. I've said to myself, this affair never will go so well. But why should I try to resist when maybe I know so well that I've got you
Under my skin.
I'd sacrifice anything, come what may, for the sake of having you near. In spite of that warning voice that comes in the night, repeats in my ear. Don't you know you can never win? Okay, use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time that I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. I got you under my skin. Thank you for the suggestion, Doron. Thank you, everybody. Amazing. Wonderful. Thank you so much for the Saturnia. Grazie mille. Buona serata. Ci vediamo sabato sera. Ok? Perfetto.
Hey everybody, thanks for being on so far. Hi Susie, you having fun? Danny, thank you for being with us today. Hope to see you next time.
Have some
Bye
Italian.
guys, bye everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye.